Hey guys, it's Hoiwa from Dynasty, and in this video, I'm going to show sticky hands application in fighting. Now this video is made of 100% real sparring footage, so it's not going to look perfect, but I'm going to try my best to show my version of the application of the sticky hands. If you guys like this video, if you guys enjoy this content, and you want to make sure that more people can see Kung Fu techniques applied in real life, please like this video and share it with your friends and subscribe. Thank you. So, starting off with this video, I'm just going to play back footage of a sparring round that I've had with my friend Robbie. We're sparring, we're doing some light sparring, kickboxing rules, so punches, knees, kicks, and clinch is allowed. Now, of course, we're just sparring. It's a friendly spar. It's not, a full contact fight or anything like that. We're not trying to hurt each other. We're not trying to knock each other out. But you're going to start to see the subtle movements that I'm making with my hands as I start to apply the sticky hands. And once the sticky hands really comes into play, I'll start breaking it down as to what's actually happening. So right now we're exchanging strikes, punches, kicks, that sort of thing. I'm gauging my distance. I'm using a little, long guard, maybe you want to call it, Muay Thai long guard. You want to call it asking hand, 慢手, where I have my hands outstretched, especially my front hand outstretched to gauge the distance and just return fire and fire back with punches and kicks, kind of just like that, just gauging the distance. And I'm catching his leg kicks or catching his kicks as they become available and firing back just like that. Here you could see sticky hands clinch at work. I'm pushing his head off of me and raising his center of gravity when he's trying to come close to me, so that I push him back in the clinch and he's not able to actually land any effective knees or strikes. Pushing the face and pushing the hands is very important. This is, a key thing about sticky hands is you always want to be attached and you always want to be applying forward energy and forward pressure to your opponent. As the sparring session, progresses, again, you could see that none of this footage was edited or anything like that. We're just having a real sparring session, again, with good control, keeping it clean, keeping it technical. And here's where I really start to come in and start using my sticky hands right here. So I'm grabbing a hold of his biceps, grabbing a hold of his forearms, and I'm locking him in that position, and I'm firing body shots and uppercuts from here, making it real dirty, making it real close range dirty boxing. And there's not too much that Robbie can do. He knows that I'm smothering him with these kinds of punches, so he's covering up. He's doing a good job of defending these strikes. But as you can see that if I'm wearing MMA gloves or if this was bare knuckle, you're going to start seeing that these shots are going to leak right through his guard. So now that you've seen the footage in real time, let's break it down in slow-mo. So right here, I'm outstretching my hands to gauge the distance to make contact. Immediately, I start firing some uppercuts right through his guard. Right here again, I'm touching, I'm sticking, I'm feeling where his hands are, and then I'm moving in and I start throwing shots. Now, the advantages of using sticky hands is that it gauges the distance. It helps me feel my opponent without me ever needing to actually look at him, as for example in this case when I'm close up like this, I have a hold of his biceps, right? Bicep tying him up and tying up his forearms at the same time, which allows me to neutralize whatever attack that he's using, right? So right there, he's swinging and a miss because he can't see me, but I can see him because his head is down in his guard, but I'm sticking my hands to him. So I can feel where he's going and what he's about to do and if he's going to throw any punches at me, whereas he can't feel what I'm doing because he's not using sticky hands, but I am. So me sticking to his gloves, me sticking to his body, allows me to read my opponent without actually needing to look at him, which is where the sensitivity of the sticky hands comes into play. When you train the Wing Chun Sticky, this is how you really actually apply it, at least in my opinion. What you are actually trying to do when you do your Sticky training is you're trying to get a higher level of sensitivity so you can feel what your opponent is doing and where his body is going without actually looking at him. And right now, what he's doing is that I'm tying his hands up and he's not able to actually fire back at me. And it pretty much makes him defenseless at this point because I can just tee off on him, even though he does a pretty good job of covering up, because there's really nothing else he can do because my sticky hand sensitivity is just better than his. And he really has no idea what the sticky hands is because he's not a Kung Fu practitioner. So here's the final seconds of the final exchange. You could see I'm still tying his hands up with the sticky hands, sticking to him, and I get to dictate whenever I want to throw my strikes.